hard. They never quit. They don't give up. If there's any other avenues that they can explore, they'll do it to help you as much as they can. We've been very fortunate to have them.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured, call Kogan and DeSalvo now.
Hi, it's the Mo and Sally Morning Show from Cool 105.5. Get WPTV News Channel 5 weather updates from Steve Weagle and Storm Team 5 every hour during your workday.
News Channel 5 and Cool 105.5, keeping you safe and secure.
When it's 5 o'clock on News Channel 5, you need to know what's happening right now. Local coverage everywhere. WPTV News Channel 5.
You really need to get this car painted.
The distress look is in.
Uh-oh. Better get Maaco. For a limited time, Maaco's lowest price paint surface is on sale for only $2.99. Maaco, America's body shop.
If you're ever in the New York City area, you've got to come and be my co-host in my studio audience. It's safe to say that this is the best audience on TV. Did you guys have fun today? We'll be here until the end of July, so you do have time. Just go to wendyshow.com. The tickets are free, and I guarantee you a good time. All right. I want to thank Brandy and my co-host, my studio audience. Also, tomorrow on the show, from Good Morning America, the fabulous Robin Roberts is stopping by. And I'm also tomorrow going to show you the best beauty products for spring. I love you for watching today, of course. And I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.
The Now South Florida, stories everyone's talking about right now.
Making sure you're in the know.
With new information before everyone else.
It's a bold new way to get your news. The Now South Florida, weekdays at 4 on WPTV News Channel 5.
Top brands, everyday low prices, massive selection. That's La Mesa RV. Over 800 new and used RVs just in Florida. In Port St. Lucie, we carry towables from Dutchman's, Evergreen, Heartland, and Winnebago. That's La Mesa RV and LaMesaRV.com.
Yeah, that's right. Deal Diva coming through. You see all my BOGOs? My weekly ad? Just wait till you see my savings. And brace yourself. The digital coupons are coming next. Look at her. So proud of her mama.
You saved quite a bit today.
Go ahead. Say it.
Cha-ching! Thank you.
The weekly ad, BOGOs, and coupons. 3 easy ways to save at the same place you love to shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's time for Steve's Ride for the Red Cross. This week, track Steve's progress. Grab a selfie with Steve at one of the stops, even bid on his bike.
Let's ride.
Steve's Ride for the Red Cross, only from WPTV.com and News Channel 5.
It's the I-95 RV show in Port St. Lucie. You'll save thousands on a new or used RV. Like this new Evergreen Amped Toy Hauler, discounted to just $253 per month. The I-95 RV show is going on now at La Mesa RV in Port St. Lucie.
Get your News Channel 5 updates throughout the day on News Radio WJNO.
Right now, a dangerous situation in Texas and Oklahoma. Historic flooding and the frantic search today for dozens of missing people. We'll have a live update on this situation. Plus, a wild car chase on I-95 through Palm Beach County this morning, new this afternoon. We are hearing the 911 calls that started the police pursuit for these suspects. And a strict dress code for a child's swim party. Why one mom says the invite went way too far. It's 4 o'clock in South Florida. This is The Now. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Shannon Cake, and welcome to The Now South Florida. It's a show that keeps you in the know. Accused of molesting 4th graders, former Rosarian Academy Elementary School teacher Stephen Budd now is on trial as a judge decides whether to let another alleged victim testify in this case. Our Brian Enton has just stepped outside of the courtroom this afternoon. He's live at the Palm Beach County Courthouse with more. Actually, I'm being told that we're trying to connect with Brian Enton. Again, he is standing by at the Palm Beach County Courthouse. We're going to try to reestablish our connection with him and get that report into our newsroom here shortly. Meanwhile, other news for you today. DCF investigating a Port St. Lucie mom accused of leaving her 7-week-old son in the car while she went shopping at Publix. Elizabeth McGowan has been charged with child neglect today. Police say a Good Samaritan heard the baby crying in the van yesterday afternoon. The car wasn't running and the window was slightly open. The witness found an unlocked door in that car, put the baby in her car until police finally arrived. McGowan told police that she forgot the baby was inside her car.
Someone has just been held up, and I need the police over here.
This is the 911 call that led to that high-speed chase from Boca Raton to West Palm just this morning. It unfolded live right here on News Channel 5. 4 suspects in custody right now this afternoon, and we are learning more about what led to this chase and even who was in the car. The Now's Chris Stewart talked to a woman who claims she is the grandmother of the driver.
Well, this is where the chase ended on 31st Street. We saw police take the suspects away. One of them is the grandson of the woman who lives in this house. She says that he actually showed up at her home earlier today, and when she found out what police were saying he was involved in, she told him to turn himself into the police. Paula Augustus is disgusted when she watches video of this morning's high-speed chase.
He could have killed somebody and killed himself.
With only Chopper 5 overhead, the dangerous stunt unfolded live on the air. Exclusive video of the car speeding up I-95 and through West Palm Beach. The driver showing no regard for anyone on the road. She says that driver is her 15-year-old grandson.
He made a mistake, and so now he have to deal with it.
Boca Raton police say the suspects drove this green car after breaking into other vehicles in their city overnight. Using a rifle, they robbed the attendant on the Spanish River Bridge. Police got on their tail, they stepped on the gas and headed north. Augustus says when they bailed near her house, her grandson walked in the front door.
I told him to get out. I told him to get out and go turn himself in.
She wasn't going to help him hide.
Go turn yourself in. I'm not going through this. I'm not doing this. And he was like, Grandma, please.
A tow truck now has the car. Police now have her grandson. Augustus hopes it's a turning point for him and a wake-up call for others looking to cause trouble.
And if any other child that's out there stealing cars and trying to rob somebody, it's not gonna work. You're going to get caught.
Now, according to police, 3 suspects actually made it to West Palm Beach, but 4 are in custody. That's because they say there was one suspect who bailed out of the car in Boca Raton before the chase picked up on I-95. In West Palm Beach, Chris Stewart for The Now, South Florida.
Chris, thank you. We want to get back now to the Palm Beach County Courthouse. Our Brian Enton just stepped outside of the courtroom. Former Rosarian Academy Elementary School teacher Stephen Budd now on trial there. Brian, what can you tell us?
An Academy Elementary School teacher accused of giving the students what he called Bud Bucks. It was often candy in exchange for sexual acts, sometimes right in the classroom. Let's go to video from a short time ago in court. That is where attorneys are trying to pick a jury right now, which they say can be difficult in cases like these because people admit that they cannot remain fair and impartial when it comes to child molestation allegations. And also the case has gotten a significant amount of media attention. The victims were 9 and 10 years old when the alleged crimes happened in the Rosarian classroom, and the girls are now 18 and 19 years old. According to police reports, they came forward in 2013 when Stephen Budd reached out to them on Facebook. Investigators arranged a phone call between Budd and the girls, and Budd reportedly said, quote, "I feel really, really bad." Now, Budd taught at Rosarian from 2001 until 2007. Right now, the judge still has to decide whether that other alleged victim from years before that will be allowed to testify at this trial. We are expecting opening arguments to start sometime tomorrow afternoon. Live downtown for The Now South Florida, I'm Brian Enton.
Thanks. President Obama has offered condolences to those affected by widespread flooding in Texas. The president said he told Governor Greg Abbott that Texas could count on help from the federal government. Our Ann McNamara has been following this story from the Now National Desk. And Ann, just in Houston alone, more than 1,000 cars have been abandoned.
And Shannon, they're going to need that help. The scene in Texas, very intense. At least 10 inches of rain fell in parts of Houston. It turned major roads and interstates into rivers and lakes, forcing up to 1,000 drivers to just walk away from their cars. And now rescue crews are actually working to get to those vehicles to make sure no one's inside. Sadly, not everyone got out safely. Continues for 30 others who are still missing. Many of them were vacationing for the holiday weekend. Houston's mayor asking everyone to still be on alert, telling people to stay away from the fast-moving water.
It's still a very dangerous place to be, so I would urge caution. And if you can stay home, please stay home today.
Many schools remain closed today because the streets are just covered with water. More than 400 have completely washed away, and more than 1,400 homes are damaged. Back to you.
And I know they're doing water rescues. They're still conducting them now. More rain coming as well. Is that right?
Well, there's a chance for thunderstorms all week, but it's not going to be anything along the lines of what they've seen these past couple of days, Shannon.
Well, that's good news. Ann McNamara for us. Thanks. I'm here in the Weather Center with Lisa Vaughn, standing in for Steve Weigel, who's riding for the Red Cross. Wow. Incredible flood. And then you see such a dichotomy in our beautiful beaches here in South Florida. Incredible.
It's like we feel a little bit guilty for having such nice weather because it's so bad there. And any additional, even if they get half an inch of rain in Houston, that's too much.
Exactly.
They've had way too much. So hopefully things will start to get better there. But here, we're really just worried about that wind today. So Steve Weigel may be fighting some of that, but it won't be head on.
That's what they called and said. There's a good headwind out here. We'll be checking in with him shortly.
Yeah, it's pretty breezy out. So that was creating that high risk of rip currents today. So if you have to swim, you always want to swim near lifeguards. Really not good swimming conditions, but it is beautiful out there. This is a view from Jupiter just a few hours ago. Really, really pretty outside. Lots of sunshine. Those rip currents are still going to be an issue, though, through today and through tomorrow. We may have to extend that even through Friday as well. Dry and sunny weather is on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. No rain on Live Viper 5 Max. It is hot, though. Check out these temperatures. 90 in Okeechobee, 87 in West Palm. So, wow, definitely hot. Fortunately, we have that breeze to kind of help moderate that heat and humidity. It's going to be a beautiful evening. Only isolated showers possible through about 9 o'clock. Back to you.
Lisa, thanks. Boaters on their best behavior this holiday weekend, it seems. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office reporting no boat crashes, underage drinking arrests, or incidents of drinking in a county park at all. During the 3-day weekend, though, the Sheriff's Office received more than 400 calls, but only had to make 12 arrests because of them. Those included 8 for boating under the influence, 2 for narcotics, and 2 for an outstanding arrest warrant. Right now, close to 300 students are in Washington, D.C. competing in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. The Now's Ashley Walters is in our nation's capital. She's covering the event for us. You can see here she's tweeting about some of the competitors. One of the students hoping to win, Jeremy Ortman of Murray Middle School in Martin County. Here he goes. Jeremy, Ashley says, Jeremy Ortman of Stewart could spell Beethoven, Shakespeare, and Bach at the age of 2.5. Not sure I could spell those on the fly at the age of 43. But anyway, he spoke. Jeremy Ortman spoke to our Ashley Walters before heading to the bee today about his strategy to win it all.
Yeah, it's 125. 14-year-old at Murray Middle School in Martin County, Jeremy Ortman describes himself as a perfectionist.
I gotta spell everything right, and if I see something that's spelled wrong, just it's like a blessing and a curse.
So he's filling his brain to the brim with words for the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
I get a lot in there, but I can still remember it. Because if you just it's not gonna help. You're not gonna just absorb it.
I think he has a really good chance.
Among the sea of supporters, student Rohan Jakate.
But I see him just walking around with the dictionary, just reading.
They were the spellers to beat. Going so many rounds, teachers ran out of words. 71 rounds to a win for Jeremy. But you could say Jeremy's been preparing for a lifetime. Here he is at 2.5. Beyond the brilliance, Jeremy is still just a kid. Kid trying to fly under the radar with a TV camera by his side.
Just a couple. I really kind of wanted to keep it on the down low, but... Oh, my friends.
In Martin County, Ashley Walters, WPTV News Channel 5.
He's great. He really could spell Beethoven, couldn't he? Preliminary rounds started today. Ashley says the finals will be held on Thursday. Make sure to follow Ashley on Twitter at Ashley Walters to find out how Jeremy and our other local students are doing in the spelling bee. She's putting out some great coverage for us. Coming up here on The Now, moving. It's stressful enough when everything really goes smoothly, but dealing with a disreputable company, well, that can be a nightmare. The Better Business Bureau here live in studio with tips for a smooth and efficient move. We'll fill you in on that. Plus, Johnny Depp facing possible prison time. What he did that may land him behind bars for a decade. And could this horrifying scene in Miami have been avoided altogether? A local business owner shows us the equipment essential for safety. Incredible.
In Florida, fun in the sun calls for skin cancer protection all year round. Melanoma can be prevented if found and treated early. When your family heads out to the bike path, the soccer field, or the beach, be sun smart. Lather up and wear a hat. See your dermatologist if you find new or changing spots. To learn more, contact the Richard David Kahn Melanoma Foundation, the attorneys of Cersei Denny, taking time to care.
It's time for Memorial Day. Schumacher celebrates this great American holiday with the biggest savings of the year. Chevy Cruze up to an amazing $4,500 in total savings. The Memorial Day sales event only at Schumacher.
It's the BrandsMart USA Huge Memorial Day Sale. This Oster 14-piece knife set is just $19.88. Get this Samsung 32-inch LED TV for just $189.88. A Charbroil 4-burner gas grill for the low price of $159.88. Or this Whirlpool stacked washer and dryer for only $799.88. Come in today. It's the BrandsMart USA Huge Memorial Day Sale.
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure, with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals.
And now, with twice as much vitamin D, which up to 90% of people don't get enough of.
The Sunshine Vitamin. Ensure now has 2 times more vitamin D to support strong bones. Ensure, take life in.
It won't take long to find the sun. We'll surf, we'll swim, let's jump right in. We'll have fun all summer long.
Florida's best selection of swimwear and everything else you need for the beach or pool. Bell.
Summertime and the water's fine, you'll see. Oh yeah.
You're driving along and then it happens. You get hurt in a car accident. After your accident, we make things easy for you. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Is the practice of law easy? No. But is letting us take care of the hassles, the phone calls, the paperwork easy? Yes. That's our job. We make it easy for you.
After your accident, make it easy. Call Rubenstein Law. They handle the hassle so you don't have to.
I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein. Call me. I want to be your attorney.
Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
I could have gone to Greece for the philosophy, but the food just fits so much better with my philosophy. Put it on a pizza.
The Greek pizza is back. A large for $12 at our new Garlic Knots for just $5 more.
Better ingredients, better pizza. PapaJohns.com.
We're back here on the Now South Florida. Federal investigators have found criminal wrongdoing in the way General Motors handled a fatal defect. It involves a flawed ignition switch. According to the New York Times, the Justice Department is negotiating with GM to determine a penalty for all of this. Former GM employees are also under investigation at the moment and could actually face charges. More than 100 deaths have been blamed on these flawed switches, which could make the cars, or can make the cars, shut off while they're being driven. GM is admitting that it delayed a recall for about a decade after learning about the problem. A decade. The summer months, a busy time for moving as families shift to new homes while the kids are out of school. May, in fact, if you didn't know, it's National Moving Month. But before you start packing up your boxes and hiring a mover, there's a couple things you should be aware of before you spend the money. And we don't want you to spend more money than you have to, right? I'm joined today by Michelle Mason with the Better Business Bureau of Southeast Florida and the Caribbean. You guys added Caribbean to the whole, my goodness. I've been working with the BBB for years as a consumer reporter, and it just used to be South Florida.
That's
now
right.
you guys got the Caribbean. You sure do. First off, where do we begin when we're looking for a mover? It can be overwhelming and daunting if you've never done this before, if you've never hired a mover. So where do you start?
That's right. Well, you can ask family and friends for suggestions, but if you do that, you also want to check with Better Business Bureau, see what kind of rating we have, customer experience record, as well as make sure they're properly licensed through the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
Okay.
Or you can turn to BBB. We also have a list of accredited businesses that we've vetted against our standards, so we can give you a starting point
You still want to check that licensing, though.
Trust but verify,
That's
right?
right, exactly.
All right, talk about getting estimates. You should always, I mean, the standard in the consumer world, you get 3. Does that stand for movers too?
Absolutely. Just like you would do anything else, like a home improvement project.
Sure.
It's great to get 3 written estimates and make sure you're comparing apples to apples. So you know that someone's going to do it by poundage, or you know pieces in a truck. We've had people say they had a table and they took the legs off and counted that as 5 parts instead of 1 piece. So you want to make sure you know exactly what they're offering, and you want to make sure that you have them come out to your home and give a visual estimate or an estimate based on what they see. If you do it by phone, you're taking a risk because they could come back later and say, you told us different than what it is, and now it's going to cost you a lot more.
One thing that I found, and we'll get to the last tip in just a second, guys, so if you'll pop it up in just a second in the control room. One thing I found doing consumer reporting for so many years, there were some unscrupulous movers who would actually charge packing material if you didn't read the fine print.
That's right.
If you had an extra bubble wrap. And so they'd bubble wrap your, I don't know, your Pooh Bear, your kid's Pooh Bear 50 times with bubble wrap and then charge you for it, right?
You're right. We're still getting complaints now that they'll charge you for the packaging tape, and they'll say someone used an entire roll just for 1 piece, and they're trying to make the price go up. So you need to know exactly what you're paying for and compare.
Michelle, is that in the fine print? You have to really get that
and there's a lot of fine print these
Yeah.
days. So you definitely, they say the devil's in the details. You want to make sure you're reading that agreement before you sign it or electronically sign it and know exactly what you're agreeing to.
Okay, tip number 3. We do recommend if you have problems, or you have recommendations rather, if you have problems with a move, such as a mover holding your belongings hostage. If you haven't heard of this at home, it happens quite frequently, more than we'd like to admit here in South Florida. Tell us what that means and how do you get out of it?
Sure. Well, a mover cannot change the price that they quote you on a contract after they've loaded your items into a truck. So they can't load it and then say it's going to cost more.
Right.
So if there's going to be a change, once they get to your home, say, especially if you did a verbal agreement, once they get to the home, they have to give you that final estimate. And you have the right then to say you're not going to move. Now,
before you start packing, before they start loading.
Before they start loading,
Okay.
right. Now, that could put you in a bad situation if you need to move, but you could try to address that later. But they can't pack your belongings in the truck. That's actually a violation of state law.
And that did not used to be a violation of state law, so that's really good that that's now part of our state law to protect consumers.
So if that happens, then you want to call your local law enforcement, police, sheriff's department, to come there and address that situation right when it's happening so that you have a witness to it.
Michelle Mason from the Southeast Florida Better Business Bureau and the Caribbean now, like you didn't have enough to do already.
That's
it's really nice to see you. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you paying more than you should when you fly? A new survey found more than 2/3 of travelers pay at least one add-on fee. Last year, people shelled out more than $3.5 billion on baggage fees alone, but there's a way to get around those extra charges. Some airlines are offering travel rewards credit cards, and they basically waive the cost of your first bag. The cards usually carry an annual fee. However, at $25 a bag, it would easily pay for itself in one family vacation, right? If you have 4 people or even 2. Allegiant, Frontier, and Spirit Air offer discounts for paying ahead of time as well. That's also a perk. Picking your seats, that's costing you cash now too, but prices can vary by more than $20 from row to row, so really scrutinize your seating chart to save some money before you choose your seat. Incredible. That was our consumer block. You have to watch out for everything these days. Johnny Depp's doggy saga. We've been telling you about that. It doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Our Ann McNamara joining us live now at the Now National Desk. And Ann, the actor, he took his dogs to Australia. Then he got in trouble. He flew them home. Why is he still in trouble?
Well, Shannon, now Australia claims that he broke quarantine laws by bringing the dogs into the country. He was there filming the 5th installment of Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, when the government found out about all this, they threatened to put the dogs down, if you can believe that. Depp immediately just put them on the plane right back to the United States. Australia now saying if this case goes to court, he could go to prison for 10 years and pay a $265,000 fine. The problem, they say, he didn't get the proper permits or make sure the dogs were quarantined for 10 days to prevent the spread of disease. And get this, Shannon, even the pilot of Depp's private jet could face 2 years in prison for his role in all of this.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
What a perpetrator. All right, Ann, thanks so much. This is day 2 for Steve Weagle's Ride for the Red Cross. As we mentioned, today he's making his way from Fort Pierce to Hope Sound. Yay! as he helps to raise money for the Red Cross and raise awareness about being prepared for the upcoming hurricane season as well. Today, News Channel 5's Michael Williams. I don't know, Lisa, you see Michael in there?
I'm not sure which one he is. They all look the same.
Everybody's looking the same out there. Michael Williams joined Steve on his ride. He's the excellent bicyclist because he does cycle on the weekends. Steve is now in Martin County, we were told, after making his way through Indian River and St. Lucie counties. If all goes well, he'll be finishing up Friday in Boca Raton. Hey, guys. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll be hearing from Steve, as I mentioned earlier, and how well this ride went today. And I remember talking to him last year, Lisa, and after day one, he was really kind of sore.
Yeah.
But he started training ahead of time this year, so I think he'll be okay.
Michael Williams, he rides all the time.
He does.
I was talking to him last night, and he said it's still going to be hard because of the winds. Even though they're not directly head-on, they're kind of coming out from the side. He said it's still hard.
How bad is it out there right now?
It's about 15 miles per hour, gusting a little bit higher. So that's pretty windy for bikers out there.
It really is.
Yeah, but it is nice, and they're going to have good weather all week, actually, for the bike ride.
Good.
Minus the winds. I mean, we can't have it all, right?
They'll make up for lost time today then if they had it.
Exactly. So this is a gorgeous view from Singer Island just a few minutes ago. Lots of people packing the beaches today, but there was that high risk of rip current, so dangerous swimming conditions. That's going to continue through tomorrow at least. We may have to extend that through the end of the week with those brisk onshore winds, but it was a beautiful beach day as far as just sitting on the sand, kind of dipping your toes in. It's hot out there, hot and humid, 87 in West Palm, it's 86 in Boca, 90 degrees in Okeechobee. We have no rain right now, but there are a few showers developing off the Bahamas, so I expect a couple isolated showers to creep on in here throughout the evening hours. Nothing too bad, just typical summertime Florida stuff. Beautiful evening forecast, 84 degrees by 7 p.m. Lows tonight in the upper 70s.
Lisa, thanks. Coming up here on The Now, a cyclist in the wrong place at the wrong time. An unbelievable chain of events caught on camera. Plus, parents up in arms over an end-of-the-year party invitation. The dangerous message one mom says it's sending. WPTV News Channel 5, Treasure Coast Newspapers, and TCPalm.com. It's the largest news partnership on the Treasure Coast.
I'm Bob Gordon of Gordon & Donner. After 32 years of representing consumers, I've learned that insurance companies don't always do the right thing. That's why we've set up a division to represent consumers who have property damage claims against their homeowner's insurance company. If your home or property has been damaged and you're getting jerked around by your insurance company, call us. The consultation is free and we only get paid if we can help you. If we can't, you don't owe us anything. No fees, no costs. Call Gordon & Donner.
Yo! No thank you for the bag, man. I hooked you up, bro. Try getting a deal like that from some other bag. Bet you feel rich now. Hey, ladies, this dude's loaded.
Checkers and Rally's 2 for $2 deal is back. Your favorite crispy fish with Alaskan filet or our boldly seasoned spicy chicken sandwich. Mix or match them for just $2.
Hey, man, how about a fry for the lady?
Checkers and Rally's.
Send the bag.
The Off Outdoor Refresher Course, Sunsets. Hello, you. And you, too. Meet outside, where the golden hour is approaching, along with the Buzzy Suck Squad. It's been a while, but you can do this. Step 1, open door. Step 2, activate off clip-on, mosquito protection you don't spray on. Step 3, face west. Get back out there with off clip-on. Keep bugs off.
SC Johnson, a family company.
It's time for Steve's Ride for the Red Cross. This week, track Steve's progress. Grab a selfie with Steve at one of the stops, even bid on his bike.
Let's ride.
Steve's Ride for the Red Cross, only from WPTV.com and News Channel 5.
Nissan gave a lucky few the ride of their life in the 2015 Nissan Altima.
Where am I going? Where am I going?
Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and up to 270 horsepower. Get the ride of your life at your local Nissan store. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima and get up to $1,000 bonus cash on top of existing offers. Bonus cash ends June 1st. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
The answer to treating your dog's fleas and ticks is staring you right in the face. NexGard from the makers of Frontline Plus. It's the only soft beef-flavored chew that kills both fleas and ticks. Vets recommend it, and dogs, well, they're begging for it. NexGard is for dogs only and hasn't been evaluated for use in pregnant, breeding, or lactating dogs. Reported side effects include vomiting, dry, flaky skin, diarrhea, lethargy, and lack of appetite. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures. Recommended by vets, loved by dogs. From the makers of Frontline Plus.
When it's 5 o'clock on News Channel 5, you need to know what's happening right now. Local coverage everywhere. WPTV News Channel 5.
Back here on the Now South Florida, this is one of those can't take your eyes off of it accidents. Right this minute, showing us a cyclist in Thailand in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What's up, The Now? I'm Beth Troutman.
And I'm Gail Bass, and I hear you have a crazy video to show me.
Yes, the poster of this video titled it The Unluckiest Cyclist Ever. I think that's up for debate. Check this out. It's dash cam footage. You see the cyclist coming from the left-hand side of your screen.
He doesn't get run over, does he?
Nope. Watch that truck, though, that's coming in the opposite direction. That truck's going to play a huge role in this video.
Oh my, of all the places and all the things that happened, it was the sign?
I know, that truck clips the road sign overhead, knocking it to the ground, and it falls right on that person riding that bicycle.
Is he okay?
Yes, the cyclist was taken to a local hospital and is expected to be okay.
I call that pretty lucky.
I think that's lucky too. For all the latest videos, you can catch us on Right This Minute.
Thanks, ladies. We all know the importance of using sunscreen, especially in South Florida, but are we applying it correctly and using it correctly? Still ahead here on The Now, the common mistakes that could be damaging your skin. Plus this.
We've all seen the shocking video of the bounce house that was picked up and thrown yesterday. Today, we're going through the list of do's and don'ts when it comes to having inflatables at your next event.
Day on 5, breaking news first.
It's a story you'll only see from this viewpoint on News Channel 5.
A high-speed chase.
There you can see him getting out.
A foot pursuit. Exclusive Chopper 5 video live.
As he saw it unfold here.
WPTV News Channel 5.
New perspectives lead to new perceptions. Like the one you get behind the wheel of the all-new Chrysler 200. With its unrivaled craftsmanship and superior fuel efficiency, you won't look at sedans the same way again. One drive and you'll discover why the Chrysler 200's popularity is growing faster than any sedan in its segment. Join us now during the Chrysler Memorial Day sales event. Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Chrysler 200 Limited for $199 a month.
Right now, you can learn about what makes us all tick and why. How we think, why we behave the way we do. By earning a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Because right now you can enroll at South University and take your first steps on the path toward a promising career. See just where a degree in psychology can take you. If you have a passion for the inner workings of the human mind, we have a place for you. So call or visit us online right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
This is amazing.
I love this car.
Real people are discovering surprising things at Chevy.
This is a road trip car.
We're sold. It's so pretty.
They're good-looking cars. It feels great.
Perfect. This is not what I would expect from a Chevy at all.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagined at the Chevy Memorial Day sale going on now. Get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 models in stock the longest. That's over $4,000 on the Chevy Equinox. Hurry, sale ends Monday. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
With so many great shows on these days, you need a DVR that can catch them all. How many shows can you DVR at one time?
I can only DVR one at a time. It'll act like it's recording, but one of us got kicked out.
There isn't any fighting, but there is conflict. With Xfinity, you can record 4 shows at once and watch a 5th live.
That's really cool.
There's no conflict, so you're never going to miss a show.
Say so long to recording conflicts. Switch to Xfinity from Comcast for $99 a month. And now lock in your rate for 2 full years. See for yourself. Call or go online today.
We've got a male, 30 to 35, stranded at the bus stop. Medium build, pretty eyes. I'm going to make contact. Hi!
Hey.
Let's get you a vehicle.
Oh, no, I can't afford a car.
Drive Time's new low price cancel anytime lease says, yes, you can. I say drive, you say time. Drive! No, I say drive, you say time. Drive! I say drive, you say drive. Stop it.
Save yourself. Everyone drives with a cancel anytime lease. Only at Drive Time. Call, click, or visit.
Do you know that a fully loaded tractor trailer going 65 miles an hour needs almost 2 football fields to stop? Remember this to avoid an accident. Learn more at CerseiLaw.com.
The attorneys of Cersei Denny, a passion for justice.
It was unbelievable video you saw yesterday on the Now South Florida. There it goes. Winds from a tornado picked up a bounce house at Fort Lauderdale Beach, throwing it dozens of feet in the air. We have just learned that the last victim has left the hospital and apparently is in good spirits this afternoon. Now, after seeing this video, you may be apprehensive about booking a bounce house for your child's next party or event. Today, the Now's Rachel Lado spoke with the professionals to show you how you can still have a good time but stay safe.
Just before the bounce house was picked up and thrown by a tornado, you can see the inflatable is sitting on the sand. Stephen Vonk of Jupiter Bounce shared why that could be a problem.
I would say sand is probably one of the hardest to work with due to the fact that you can't anchor it in the ground at any kind. And I feel that since it's such a soft surface that wind can definitely get underneath it pretty quickly.
And wind was definitely a factor when the bounce house was uprooted while children were still inside.
Considering how big they are and how easy they could be to take off, I think 15 miles an hour is a good way to keep an eye on it. I think once you get past that in 20, 25 mile an hour winds, I think it definitely becomes a hazard to the riders inside.
Vonk suggests always having an adult with an arm's reach of an inflatable at all times, whether it's a backyard party or a city function.
I definitely thought who was running the event. I did find out it was a city-run event. They had volunteers there. Where were they? How were they helping get the kids out of the equipment the instant that the weather became inclement?
But Vonk also made it clear that what happened on Memorial Day is not the norm.
The event that just happened in Fort Lauderdale really was an anomaly. I think that having inclement weather change in 30 seconds is something that nobody could have ever prevented.
Vonk also recommends asking about insurance and to consider paying a little more for crew members to stay on site at an event. I'm Rachel Lado in Jupiter for The Now.
Rachel, thanks. Bystanders on a Hutchinson Island beach jumped in to save someone who was drowning. His rescuers say he was caught in the rip current at the time. Martin County lifeguards telling us it happened yesterday afternoon behind an Indian River Plantation resort. They say the swimmer in this case was screaming and struggling. There were no lifeguards around. 4 people jumped in to save the young man's life.
We just made a quick decision, and we had these boogie boards standing right in between us, and we're like, should we just bring these out there? Yeah, let's do it. And some lady owned the boogie boards or was renting them. She's like, what are you doing? We're like, we're just going to help this guy out in the water. He's drowning. She's like, okay, go.
Incredible. Someone on that beach performed CPR until Martin County lifeguards and EMTs arrived on scene. A lucky young man. He was taken to an area hospital, expected to be okay. Here now, the news you need to know in 90 seconds. Today, the trial has begun for a former Rosarian Academy teacher accused of molesting 4th graders several years ago. Right now, attorneys are in the process of picking a jury for Stephen Budd's trial. The judge still has to decide whether another alleged victim will be allowed to testify in this case. Opening arguments could begin as early as tomorrow. Riviera Beach Police right now investigating a shooting near the Rapids Water Park today. Police say the victim in this case was going northbound on Military Trail right near the water park when he was shot by someone in another vehicle. The victim was taken to a local hospital. His condition not known. Right now, 4 teenagers are in custody following a string of auto burglaries, armed robbery, and a car chase all this morning. The chase began in Boca Raton after a bridge tender was robbed at gunpoint. Police say 3 of these teenagers then sped onto I-95, drove all the way to West Palm Beach before being arrested at last. The 4th teenager was arrested in Boca. He told police that he bailed on his friends after breaking into several cars earlier in the morning. One of the 3 people in the car that went into a lake Ocohealy or into a lake at Ocohealy Park yesterday has sadly died. Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies say 32-year-old Maria Guzman was trapped in the driver's seat after she drove that vehicle into the water while she was learning how to drive. She later died at a local hospital. A person standing near the lake was able to pull a man and an 11-year-old safely out of that water. There will soon be an easier way to get to Palm Beach International Airport. Our news partners at the Palm Beach Post reporting a dedicated shuttle bus linking the airport And the Tri-Rail station in downtown West Palm will start at the end of the summer. In fact, PBIA is the only South Florida airport that right now does not have a direct connection to Tri-Rail. Right now, passengers have to take a Palm Tran bus to the airport, but that even makes several stops before finally reaching the terminal. Again, that should all be resolved by the end of the summer. We shall see. A school invitation for a 6th grade pool party is upsetting one Indianapolis mom. The invitation was requiring all of the girls to wear shirts over their swimsuits, a rule the mom says teaches young children unhealthy lessons. The Now's Candace Evelisa has more.
It's a very dangerous message to send children.
Jennifer Smith was shocked when her son brought home a Rhodes Elementary School pool party invitation with a clothing rule specifically for girls.
By telling little girls that they have to cover up and wear non-white t-shirts, you're telling them that they have to be ashamed of their body and that they need to cover up so that other people don't look at them.
Smith says it's not only body shaming, but can lead to further psychological problems like depression and low self-esteem.
It's teaching the girls very dangerous lessons. Like I've said, I mean, they are responsible for how other people see them. So if they are victimized, they're ultimately responsible. And that's just not true.
Smith emailed her concerns to school administrators, saying the rule should apply to everyone and not single out one group of people to make them feel less than others.
You need to stand up for what's right, even if you're the only one standing. And I know a lot of people think it was just a permission slip. Well, it's the small things. It's the little things that each and every one of us can do to make the world a little better place, even if it's just a permission slip.
For the Now, I'm Candace Avilés.
Rhodes Elementary School ended up making that T-shirt rule optional for everybody. In fact, Jennifer's 12-year-old son said he went to the pool party. Not one of the girls there wore shirts over their swimsuits. Pope Francis has not been keeping up with the Kardashians or anyone else on TV for that matter. We'll explain coming up here on the Now.
Lei ha chiesto una parola che assicuri che migranti.
The Gunther Volkswagen Memorial Day sales event is going on right now. Get our best offers and save thousands on your favorite new Volkswagen. Drive home in a new Tiguan from $149 a month. Or get as low as 0% APR for 60 months. Or zero down is available on every new Volkswagen from Gunther's massive inventory. Don't miss the Gunther Volkswagen Memorial Day sales event going on now in Coconut Creek and Delray Beach.
For car buying done your way, you gotta get to Gunther.
It's the BrandsMart USA Huge Memorial Day Sale. A Philips Mini Bluetooth speaker is $888. We've got recliners starting at $179.88. Take home this Samsung top-load laundry pair for just $799.76. Or how about this LG 49-inch UHD Smart 3D TV for only $699.88. Come in today. It's the BrandsMart USA Huge Memorial Day Sale.
Excellence. How do you find it? It's fueled by passion, thrives on persistence, and demands nothing less than total dedication. My name is Mark Anajar.
And I'm Glenn Levine.
Our mission to deliver excellence in legal services is what makes a world of difference.
Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE for a consultation.
It won't take long to find the sun. We'll surf, we'll swim, let's jump right in. We'll have fun all summer long.
Florida's best selection of swimwear and everything else you need for the beach or pool. Bell.
Summertime and the water's fine, you'll see. Oh yeah.
Tonight, get ready for two of summer's hottest premieres, starting with America's Got Talent.
This is it.
You are contenders. You gotta blow us away. Then, on the premiere of I Can Do That, it takes a lifetime of training to be this good. Can 6 celebrities perfect these skills in just 1 week?
If you throw up on me, I will tweet about it.
It all starts tonight, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Car accident?
People are talking about Steinger is going green, and here's what they're saying.
Very impressed. An A+ firm.
I heard that. Very professional. What a fantastic team.
There's more where that came from.
You guys are the best.
A perfect 10.
I would recommend your firm to anyone. I am very happy with the outcome.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you've been injured in a car accident, find out why people are talking about Steiger is going green.
800-561-1111.
Pope Francis revealing his personal side in a newspaper interview. Among the most interesting of tidbits the pontiff shared, he never uses the internet and he hasn't watched television in 25 years. He made a vow, in fact, to the Virgin Mary that he would give up television on July 15th, 1990, and he has stuck to it. He reads the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, but he does not read even the official Vatican City newspaper. And as a child, this may surprise you, he says he never dreamed of becoming Pope. Pushing the boundaries and taking things to the extreme. It is what America's Got Talent is all about. The show begins its 10th anniversary season tonight, right here on News Channel 5. All 4 judges and host Nick Cannon back for the start of the auditions.
People come with that idea and that mindset of, I want to top what I saw last season, and they're definitely doing it.
This season, a hypnotist is incorporating or including germaphobe Howie Mandel, and other acts ramp up their efforts to really impress the judges. America's Got Talent airs at 8 o'clock tonight, right here on News Channel 5. Taking a live look now at the roads. Traffic can certainly be noisy and annoying, but there is another side effect from all these cars that could be derailing your efforts for a healthy lifestyle. We'll explain that, plus this.
One mother says her son caught a dangerous bacteria from his football helmet. Next, how you can protect your kids before they hit the field.
When it's 5 o'clock on News Channel 5, you need to know what's happening right now. Steve Winkle with weather, safety, and accuracy right when and where you need it. WPTV News Channel 5. Today on 5, breaking news first.
It's a story you'll only see from this viewpoint on News Channel 5.
A high-speed chase.
There you can see him getting out.
A foot pursuit. Exclusive Chopper 5 video live.
As he saw it unfold here.
WPTV News Channel 5.
If you suspect nursing home abuse or neglect, call Gordon and Donner at 333-3333 or visit fortheinjured.com.
Why am I so awake?
Did you know your brain has a wake system and a sleep system? Science suggests when you have insomnia, the neurotransmitters in your wake system may be too strong, which may be preventing you from getting the sleep you need. Talk to your doctor about ways to manage your insomnia.
Yo, no thank you for the bag, man. Hey, ladies, this dude's loaded.
Checkers and Rally's 2-for-2 deal is back. Your favorite crispy fish or spicy chicken sandwich. Mix or match them for $2. Checkers and Rally's.
Send it back.
Right now, if your heart beats a little faster when you think about business, if you love the idea of competing in the marketplace, then right now may be the time to pursue a Bachelor or Master of Business Administration from South University, where you can learn the critical thinking skills, principles, and know-how that can prepare you for a successful profession in business. Learn more about our business degrees at South University, so call or visit us online. Right now. Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Unique lost her father in a 22-vehicle crash.
Kogan and DeSalvo was always the ones that I felt like I could always call him. His door's open to me and my family.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured, call Kogan and DeSalvo now.
At 328 horsepower, no one packs more power into 30 mpg than Infiniti Q50. Get behind the wheel of your Q50 for just $299 a month, 0 down. Power, fun, style, 0 to 60 in 5.3. 30 miles per gallon, $299 a month, 0 down. At Infiniti of the Palm Beaches now.
For a best-in-class experience, Infiniti of the Palm Beaches. Come join the family.
At Rosner's, we don't just sell appliances. We provide solutions for delicious meals, clean clothes, and lower energy bills.
We're a major player in fresh-baked cookies, Snapper in the freezer, and wrinkle-free shirts, offering a huge selection of top brands like GE Cafe and GE Profile.
For over 100 years, we have taken on dinner, stacks of dishes, and grass-stained jeans.
It's an important job. Thanks for including us. Here's to family, yours and ours.
Steve's Ride for the Red Cross is sponsored in part by Kimpton Hotels.
Back here on the Now, South Florida, that Omaha police officer killed just hours before going on maternity leave, remembered today. Ann McNamara is here now. And Ann, it seems this community has really been affected by this officer's death.
Shannon, thousands of people in Omaha paid their respects today as 29-year-old Carrie Orozco was laid to rest. The Omaha Gang Task Force officer gunned down last week in the line of duty, just hours, as you said, before she was supposed to take maternity leave. Orozco actually delivered her baby girl Olivia 3 months ago, but the premature baby had been in the hospital ever since. Orozco put off taking that maternity leave until Olivia was healthy enough to go home. But she was killed just hours before her daughter's release. Now, on social media, people really rallying around this family using this hashtag #CarryOn. Also, you can see baby Olivia wearing a onesie with that same slogan. Orozco also survived by her husband and 2 stepchildren. Shannon.
To hear this story is just so heart-wrenching. And talk about the things they said today, what made Orozco so very special to this community. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was very apparent at the services that she was one of those selfless people who managed to touch a lot of lives in a positive way, lending her time to the community, not only when she was working, but also when she was off the job.
Such a loss. Ann McNamara for us. Thank you. Now a look at what is making national and international news today. Our Ashley Henson standing by in the feed room with what's coming in on the satellites. Ashley.
Well, Shannon, an American journalist trial in Tehran is now underway. Jason Rezaian has been detained in Iran for almost a year now. The Washington Post reporter is accused of passing information onto, quote, hostile governments. The newspaper says the trial is shameful and they've asked for him to be released. Las Vegas police are not investigating B.B. King's death as murder, but his daughters say they believe his 2 closest aides poisoned him. Investigators are waiting on the coroner's report. A devastating story out of Texas. An 18-year-old driving home from her senior prom was killed when her car stalled in high water. She was just a few miles from home when the water swept her car away. At least 10 people have died in Texas and Oklahoma from that storm system. 30 others are still missing. And Charter Communications making a huge bid for Time Warner Cable. If it goes through, 1 in 6 American households will be affected. Charter will pay more than $195 a share, valuing Time Warner at $78.7 billion. And Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are the latest companies to cut out artificial colors and flavors. Many of the new recipes are being tested in secret markets and should be in stores nationally by the end of the year. And that is your News in 90. Shannon, back to you.
Ashley, thanks. Olive Garden isn't finished dreaming up all the new ways to use its breadsticks. No, not yet. All in an effort to keep customers walking through the doors, right? Next week, the restaurant will be selling those breadstick sandwiches we told you about a couple weeks ago. And in August, breadstick crostinis will be added to the menu. The breadstick crostini, or toasted bread, will be sliced and used as part of an appetizer. That's the Olive Garden plug for the day.
Sounds amazing.
It does. I guess we're all going to Olive Garden now. Lisa Vaughn standing in for Steve Wiegel. He's on a bike right now. What are you doing at 5? What are you looking for at 5?
Just a lot of wind.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to get rained on or anything, but that wind is going to make it a little bit hard. Even though it's not directly head on, it's coming out of the east, but yeah, it's going to make it hard. And it's hot, of course. It's Florida, though, at the end of May. It's beautiful, though. Look at our Live 5 camera. Gorgeous blue sky. Look at that Intracoastal. Super nice day out there. The wind kind of helping cool you off. No rain out there. There are some showers just off the Bahamas, so I'm expecting a few of those to pop in over the evening hours. Nothing too bad, just like what we see in summertime here in Florida. So hour-by-hour forecast looks good. We're going to stay warm, though, 80 degrees by 9 o'clock.
Speaking of being outside, Miss Lisa, here in South Florida, a lot of us are outside quite a bit, especially over the summer, either going to the beach, swimming in the pool. So very important to pack on the sunscreen, right? But putting it on the right way, apparently that's half the battle. The Now's Holly Davis here with a couple of mistakes that some of us are making.
The major mistake is not putting on any at all. A recent survey from the Centers for Disease Control highlighted that 42% of men, you ready for this, never use sunscreen. Now, for those of you, men and women, who do, you still have to put it on the right way. So first off, remember that the expiration date counts. You can't use the same sunscreen that you were using 5 years ago. I know. Next, for women who use foundation that has sunscreen in it, it still may not be enough. Dermatologists say most of us don't cake on enough makeup, so the coverage from the sunscreen just isn't there. Next, remember that waterproof sunscreen, no such thing. The FDA says there is, however, water resistant. You do have to reapply after 40 to 80 minutes. And finally, the higher the SPF, the better the protection. Not necessarily. Dermatologists say SPF 30 works just as well, usually, as SPF 60 when you put it on the right way. So don't spend all that money. Hope this helps, Shannon. We'll all need to lather up, needless to say, from here on out.
Absolutely. Good reminder, Holly. Thank you. Dangers of social media. The Martin County Sheriff's Office wants all parents to know what to look for. So tonight, they're hosting a third town hall meeting on this very topic. The town hall will help educate parents and grandparents on how kids' social media habits can welcome unwanted internet predators. The last two meetings have been standing room only. The town hall starts in about 10 minutes from now, but it goes until 8 o'clock tonight. It's right there at the Kane Center in Stewart. The parents, while they are at the meeting, a mobile gaming zone will be available for kids, so kids can go if you're having sitter trouble. Remember the free-range parents accused of child neglect for allowing their children to walk to the park alone? Well, they've been cleared in one of their cases now. Authorities dropped the charge that was related to that December case when the couple allowed their 10 and their 6-year-old to walk home from a park about a mile away. They're still under investigation for neglect related to their children walking home in April from another park. There were two cases, if you remember. This couple saying that free-range parenting encourages independence and exploration as well. It's that time of year again, senior pranks, and what some thought was a harmless prank is actually costing some students their graduation. 6 seniors from a Maryland high school and 1 alum broke into the school about 3:30 in the morning and released 72,000 ladybugs. They are now facing criminal charges. Friends, they say they're outraged.
Worked 4 years for something, and that's to like walk across the stage, and then just a little thing like that, like,
can ruin everything.
It shouldn't ruin that much. I don't think that they should go straight out of high school with these criminal records. That's going to help them. It's going to make them not be able to get a job, get into college.
4 minors were charged with 4th-degree burglary, property destruction, and disruption of school activities as well. The other 3, they will be charged as adults. They're really cracking down on those senior pranks.
I'm telling you what.
My goodness. Looking ahead to the 5 o'clock news, Ms. Kelly Dunn's here.
Oh, right off the bat, we are going to have some breaking news about, I mean, we've heard so many times about people's identity being stolen when there are data breaches. Well, when it happens to the IRS, that's a big deal, and that's a big problem.
I bet they stop it now. I bet they stop this one.
Right, exactly. So all the details, really just sounding the alert about this within the last hour, so we'll have everything for you. Doesn't mean, obviously, every taxpayer is at risk, but there was a certain group that are, and you're going to be notified by the IRS, but we'll give you all the details.
I'm tired of being notified that I've been hacked.
Right? Or recalled or something else.
I know.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
I just need to clean it up. We'll see at 5.
I agree.
On that happy note, traffic causes weight gain. There's another happy news for you, right? It sounds crazy, but Catherine Beek at Newsy tells us our stress levels, go way up and our bodies react with added pounds.
If your diet isn't working and you live next to a road with heavy traffic, researchers are saying noise could be your problem. Yes, you heard right. A new study published in the British Medical Journal found living next to a busy road can be a significant risk for obesity because of noise pollution. As the New Zealand Herald notes, this is the first finding linking noise pollution to fat accumulation.
Researchers say traffic can cause a lot of stress levels to go up, prompting the body to produce more fat because your body thinks it's preparing for a time of crisis when food might be scarce.
The study's lead author told The Telegraph the issue of noise pollution is due in part to increasing urbanization, and the effects can range from being a simple annoyance to affecting cardiovascular health. According to The Telegraph, the study found normal traffic noise sits at 45 decibels. But for every increase by 5 decibels, the average homeowner's waistline gains 0.2 of a centimeter. So let's put this in perspective. Most online sizing charts said going up 1 pant size means gaining an inch around the waist. So for 1 increase in pant size, the noise pollution has to reach more than 100 decibels. Considering a power saw operates at 110 decibels, that'd have to be some intense traffic. But any gain can be significant. This is an even bigger issue for women, as the National Institutes of Health has cited excess weight around the hips as a risk indicator for cancer and heart disease. As some researchers are noting, though, this is the first study of its kind, and reviews will be needed before the finding is considered definitive. For Newsy, I'm Catherine Beek. Watch Newsy 24/7 on your TV or download the Newsy app for on-the-go updates.
Catherine, thanks. For a lot of us, one of the most nerve-wracking parts of surgery is actually the thought of going under anesthesia. Now, some hospitals are turning to computers to deliver this medication to patients. Moments before Penny Gillatte's colonoscopy, she met her nurse, she met her doctor, she met her anesthesiologist. A computer. Virginia Mason Medical Center in Seattle is among a few hospitals using Sedasys, a machine. It is approved by the FDA for healthy adults who are having colonoscopies and upper endoscopy procedures that use conscious sedation, which means that the patient is unaware but responsive.
We need to do more studies to absolutely determine its safety for other procedures.
Gillette, constantly monitored by a nurse while the machine is tracking her vitals. If there is a problem, Sedasys, the machine, can shrink the dose or stop delivering the drug altogether. It only gives more medicine if it's instructed by the nurse or the doctor. A Florida family claims their son contracted MRSA from his school's football helmet. A football helmet. But how easily can this life-threatening bacteria really spread? Ann McNamara takes a look at how to protect your kids before they hit the field.
I spoke to a specialist in pediatric infectious disease. He said most of the time MRSA is transferred by skin-to-skin contact, but contracting the bacteria from sports equipment like football helmets is possible. This mother's Facebook post says her son caught MRSA at his high school football practice. She claims the school helmet was not properly sanitized, but a physician who specializes in pediatric infectious disease says that may not be the case.
From a medical perspective, I think most likely it came from skin, got on the helmet, and now the helmet is going to look like it because that's where the abrasions are, but it probably didn't originate from the helmet.
Dr. Jason Newland says 30% of all people have the bacteria on their skin, and this time of year, people are more likely to develop local infections or boils.
We do see a lot more of it in the summer, and it makes sense, right? Bacteria love warm, moist environments. I mean, that's what they like. That's how they grow.
Here are 3 ways to protect your kids. First, washing hands. Dr. Newland says it's important to use soap, water, and friction. Second, bathing regularly. And third, cleaning sports equipment. Dr. Newland recommends using fresh towels if your skin has any outbreaks. And while it's important to protect your family, especially this time of year, he says the fear of MRSA shouldn't stop you from having fun.
To me, that doesn't stop you from going out to let your children do the fun things that they can do every day.
And keep in mind, this applies to adults too at places like the gym. If MRSA does get in your bloodstream, it can be life-threatening and impact your lungs or even your bones. At the Now National Desk, I'm Ann McNamara.
Reminder, Ann, thank you. That'll do it for the Now South Florida News Channel 5 at 5 begins right now. We begin with breaking news. Your tax information could be in the hands of thieves.
The IRS sounding the alert within the last hour that thieves gained access to the private information of more than 100,000 taxpayers. The thieves targeted an online service called Get Transcript from February to mid-May.
The IRS said it is notifying taxpayers whose information was accessed.
More breaking news. Military Trail back open near the Rapids Water Park after the area was shut down following we're told is expected to survive. Authorities searched for the gunman and the car he was in, but could not find him.
2 guys pulled up behind me, 3 guys, one in the car. One guy had a rifle pointing it right at me, and he says, "Give me your wallet, give me your wallet." I started screaming help, and I ran away.
That man making that frantic call after he says a group of teenagers robbed him. The robbery turned into this, a high-speed chase captured by Chopper 5 from Boca Raton to West Palm Beach. 2 15-year-old boys are charged with armed robbery.
2 other teens are facing charges related to this early morning crime spree. News Channel 5's Charlie Keegan breaking down on what we're learning from investigators and from one victim. Charlie.
The police say that this victim had just pulled into his parking spot right here on his way to work at the bridge tender booth here at the Spanish River Boulevard Bridge. Certainly didn't expect to be the victim of a crime. And then we are hearing new tonight details of the robbery from the victim himself in this 911 call. Take a listen.
Can you tell me what happened?
I'm a bridge tender. I pulled into my spot and two guys pulled up behind me. Three guys, one in the car. One guy had a rifle.
Police tell us the boy pointed a .22 caliber rifle at the bridge tender. He ran away and yelled for help. Again, these boys aren't even old enough to legally drive. But Boca Raton police telling us today that they then led police on a car chase up I-95, which ended in West Palm Beach. One of the boys' grandmothers says she made her grandson turn himself in.
He made a mistake, and so now he have to deal with it. You know, and if any other child that's out there stealing cars and trying to rob somebody, it's not gonna work.
This afternoon, we're learning police arrested a fourth suspect in Boca Raton. They believe two of these boys broke into at least 19 cars in an apartment complex before trying to rob the bridge tender. Late this afternoon, the police department released the names of the 4 teenagers they arrested. It is our policy, though, at WPTV not to name children who are arrested until the state attorney's office decides whether to charge them as adults. The state attorney's office says it takes about 3 weeks per case to decide whether to charge juveniles as adults, so we are holding off on releasing their names for now. A police spokesperson says that those 4 teenagers are at the Juvenile Assessment Center tonight. Live in Boca Raton, Charlie Keegan, WPTV News Channel 5.
Accused of molesting elementary school girls at Rosarian Academy, now 4th grade teacher Stephen Budd is fighting those accusations in court. News Channel 5's Brian Enton just stepped out of court. He's live in downtown with more. Brian?
Kelly, jury selection starting today, which could be difficult because so many people have already heard of Stephen Budd and of the accusations that he would give the children what he called Bud Bucks in exchange for sexual activity. Facing the man she says took advantage of her, a now college student takes the stand and says then elementary school teacher Stephen Budd abused her.
I have a very specific memory of the Rugrats movie playing and me sitting on his lap and him asking me to lift my skirt.
The judge still has to decide whether that woman's testimony will be allowed in front of jurors. Her story is similar to the accusers in this trial, who say then Rosarian Academy teacher Stephen Budd gave them Bud Bucks and candy to persuade them into sexual acts at the Catholic school. Legal analyst Michelle Suskauer says the details of the child molestation case make it very difficult to find fair and impartial jurors.
These are very tough cases, and certainly they evoke a lot of sympathy in the minds of the jury. So it's difficult to get a jury that's going to have an open mind.
Budd's accusers say they came forward a couple of years ago because they say Budd contacted them on Facebook and later said he felt really bad for what he did. The trial will continue tomorrow with opening arguments. Live at the courthouse, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.
A Port St. Lucie mother is accused of leaving her 7-week-old baby in the car while she went shopping. 31-year-old Elizabeth McGohan is charged with child neglect. Officers say she left her 7-week-old in the car with the vehicle with the window barely open. Someone noticed the baby crying and took the baby to her car and called 911. Police say McGohan told them that she forgot the child was in the car. The baby is going to be okay. DCF is investigating.
Tonight we are hearing from the 11-year-old boy who was in the car with his parents when their car went into the lake at Okehili Park.
She tried to press the brake. Instead, she pressed the gas. I thought I was going to drown.
A person standing nearby pulled the man and the child out of the water. Dive crews later pulled Maria Guzman from the car. She later died from her injuries. Family says Maria was learning how to drive when the accident occurred. Tonight we've learned the last victim who fell from a bounce house in Fort Lauderdale has left the hospital. 3 kids were inside the house when winds blew it into the air. The National Weather Service confirmed an EF0 tornado came in off the ocean, causing the spout that sent the playhouse flying. According to police, it went about 20 feet in the air. The children fell out onto the sand.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Good afternoon, everyone. It was another gorgeous day across South Florida. You're taking a look of our Live 5 camera, Singer Island and Peanut Island, that beautiful intracoastal water, nice and turquoise right now. We've got some very dry weather in store for Wednesday and Thursday. Sunny and dry. Rip currents, though, through at least tomorrow, possibly through the end of the week. So that's going to be the issue. So if you're going to be heading to the beach at all this week, please swim near lifeguards. Gorgeous day. It is hot, though. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. It's 90 in Okeechobee. We have no rain out there, but there are some showers that are just off the Bahamas, so I expect a few of those to graze the coastline this evening. So I'll keep the chance for an isolated shower. Warm through the evening, about 80 degrees at 9 o'clock.
Right now, the massive flooding in Texas and Oklahoma, it has claimed the lives of at least 10 people. 40 others are missing from central Texas. Houston residents are dealing with about a foot of rain since Monday. Major roads have been closed while workers attempt to rescue people who are trapped by that rising water. Of the people missing, the McCone family, whose house was literally swept away during the Memorial Day weekend. A relative describes the terrifying phone call that she received.
We are in a house that is now floating down the river. Call Mom and Dad. I love you, and pray.
Today, a sinkhole closed a runway at Dallas-Fort Worth's airport, and the Texas Governor Greg Abbott just expanded the state's disaster declaration to include 37 counties. Tonight, the Red Cross in West Palm Beach is sending volunteers to help coordinate relief efforts.
I'm Shannon Cake in the feed room tonight. We are learning that Amtrak is planning to begin installing inward-facing cameras aboard its trains. The first cameras will be installed on the heavily traveled northeast corridor, of course, between Boston and Washington. That's the same route where a train derailed 2 weeks ago in Philadelphia, killing 8 people. Cameras will also be installed along the Keystone Line in Pennsylvania. The cameras would show certainly what's going on inside the cab of a train. Currently, Amtrak trains only have cameras facing outward, as well as data recorders as well. Reporting from the feed room, Kelly, back to you.
Shannon, thanks. Developing story tonight about the future of Afghanistan. The Afghan government says fighters aligned with ISIS are working alongside the Taliban. And officials said they want to create a safe haven for extremists who were driven out of Pakistan. He said the presence of ISIS militants is growing. Now the government is calling up local militia groups who patrol large areas of the country.
Tonight, the city of Cleveland says it will overhaul its police department after a Justice Department investigation found a pattern of excessive use of force and dangerous police tactics. The announcement comes 3 days after an officer was acquitted of manslaughter charges in the shooting deaths of 2 unarmed suspects. Today, hundreds of demonstrators filled downtown Cleveland to protest the verdict. The city says it will implement tougher standards on when to use force and have closer oversight of officers.
A man suspected of a shooting in West Palm Beach was in court today. Emmanuel Salazar, charged with shooting one person near 10th Street and Isaacs Avenue on May 15th. The victims, who did survive, were able to describe Salazar and the tattoos. That information led to his arrest. Salazar is being held in the Palm Beach County Jail with no bond.
Police have arrested the man they believe shot a person in Fort Pierce yesterday afternoon. 21-year-old Filbert Ramsey admitted to detectives he fired at a car traveling on Avenue I near North 13th Street. The victim that was hit was sitting in the back of the car. Ramsey said he fired only after someone in that other car shot at him, but detectives believe that Ramsey was the only shooter.
Senate leaders in Tallahassee have released a proposal that would revise their plan for extending health care coverage to about 800,000 uninsured Floridians. The move comes 6 days before the start of the special legislative session to negotiate a budget. Now, under the new proposal, the coverage expansion would take effect January 1st instead of July 1st. Also, the proposal would allow people to choose from plans on the federal health insurance exchange. Today, Governor Rick Scott said he still opposed the Senate's plan because it will hurt Florida's economy.
Coming up, bad apps. That's how hackers are accessing your private information from your phone. What you can do to protect yourself.
Is downtown West Palm Beach too loud? When city leaders plan to address some residents' concerns.
Remove it and, issue an apology. I think it's ridiculous.
The stern message an Army vet has for a retailer, why he says this design is a slap in the face.
I made it. Day 2 of my ride for the Red Cross. I'm at Harry and the Natives in Hobe Sound. Big ride today. Going to raise some more money and tell you where I'm headed next on my bike ride coming up.
1,000 new Kias. No money down. Our low price with free guarantee and free tires and batteries for life. The Kia closeout is on at Best Smith Kia. Now, buy a new 2016 Sorento with 0 down, $299 a month. Buy a new Optima, 0 down, $279 a month. Plus, they're backed by our low price or its free guarantee and free tires and batteries for life. Rush to the Kia closeout today at Best Smith Kia. Saving you the most on the Treasure Coast.
This is amazing.
I love this car.
Real people are discovering surprising things at Chevy.
This is a road trip car.
We're sold. It's so pretty.
They're good-looking cars. It feels great.
Perfect.
This is not what I would expect from a Chevy at all.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagined at the Chevy Memorial Day sale going on now. Get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 models in stock the longest. That's over $4,000 on the Chevy Equinox. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Tonight, get ready for 2 of summer's hottest premieres, starting with America's Got Talent.
This is it. You are contenders. You gotta blow us away.
Then, on the premiere of I Can Do That, it takes a lifetime of training to be this good. Can 6 celebrities perfect these skills in just 1 week?
If you throw up on me, I will tweet about it.
It all starts tonight, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Arrigo's biggest sale of the year has been extended to June 1st. Our red, white, and blue tag sale. 3,500 new Dodge, Chryslers, Jeeps, and Rams. Clearly marked, thousands off MSRP. And our banks just want to say, yes, you're approved. You gotta go Arrigo.
Drive and Discover event.
Teamwork, over 35 years experience. At Searcy Denny, we have an experienced team to pursue justice.
At Searcy Denny, we pursue justice if you're a victim of an auto or trucking accident. Learn more at searcylaw.com.
The lightest or nothing. The smartest or nothing. The quietest or nothing. The sleekest, sexiest, baddest, safest, tightest, harshest or nothing. At Mercedes-Benz, we do things one way or we don't do them at all. The 2015 C-Class. The best or nothing. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
Weather on WPTV is sponsored by Earl Stewart Toyota.
To a consumer alert for the 97 million Americans who own an Android phone, security experts warn that apps downloaded outside of the App Store could be the work of hackers. Already, more than 600,000 apps have been identified as malicious. Security experts say Android phones are more prone to hacking than Apple phones because anyone can publish an app for an Android. So how should you protect your phone? First, make sure your operating system and software are up to date. Run an antivirus program and only download apps you know you can trust.
All of these devices that we're putting around us now potentially could be compromised, and that offers cybercriminals potential huge power over the physical world as well as domination of our digital lives.
Now, to ensure that you don't download a hacker's app, Google says only download apps from Google Play, which conducts 200 million security scans each day.
Music, people, traffic. Is it all too loud? Downtown West Palm Beach is considered the hot spot for great nightlife, but some of the people living in the thousands of new condo units built over the last few years think it's a bit much. According to our news partners at the Palm Beach Post, last month, the city gave initial approval for an ordinance that would decrease the allowed decibel amount by 10, making it quiet after 11 p.m. on weekdays and midnight on weekends. However, the commission isn't planning to make a decision until July.
Tonight, the New York Times is reporting federal investigators have found criminal wrongdoing in the handling of a fatal General Motors defect. The Justice Department is negotiating with GM to determine a penalty. Former GM employees are also under investigation and may face charges. More than 100 deaths have been blamed on a flawed ignition switch on GM vehicles. GM admits that it delayed a recall for about a decade after learning of that problem.
A health alert now, 8,000 every day. That's how many kids experts say are being treated in emergency rooms for falls, and many of these accidents are preventable. Surgeons say parents should supervise kids at all times, strap babies into seats and carriers, place baby gates at the top and bottom of stairs, and make sure the playground equipment is age appropriate. They say keeping kids away from open windows is also important because screens do not protect against a fall.
As we are seeing this week with Steve Weagle's Ride for the Red Cross relies on volunteers. Some volunteer because they want to help. Some have giving hearts. Others received help and they want to pay it forward. And that's the case for a Vero Beach woman, as News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts reports.
For Patty Meyer, coming to work every day at the Red Cross is a blessing. When 30 years ago, she wasn't sure how she'd get back on her feet. It was in 1985 in her old Fort Pierce home when her smoke detector started making noise.
That chirping that it makes, you know, that loud, ear-piercing chirp.
So she silenced it.
Dismantled the smoke alarm, not knowing what to do with it.
That night, wiring in her home sparked a fire. She grabbed her 2-month-old, her 2-year-old, and watched her home burn to its foundation. Now it's an empty lot.
The one night I touched it, the one night I did something, dismantled it, I could have lost my family.
But that was the first night she came in contact with the Red Cross. A volunteer handed her diapers and other basics to get through the first few days without a home.
It's that makes me cry. Yeah. It's the unselfish giving.
Now she pays it forward and teaches people about smoke detector safety.
Really, anywhere I can grab them. I've done it in line and Dunkin' Donuts.
Hoping to keep others safe or at least be there when they too need help starting over. Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Wow, that's an amazing story. What an impact the Red Cross.
Circle.
It really, really does. All right, day 2 and 3 to go for Storm Team 5 Chief Meteorologist Steve Weagle and his annual Ride for the Red Cross. It's 16th year, as we've been telling you, riding to raise money and awareness for the Red Cross.
That's right. He jumped on his bike in Fort Pierce today and made it all the way down to Hobe Sound, and that's where he joins us live. And Steve, we got to ask you, it's hot out there. How'd it go today?
It wasn't too bad, although my legs feel like rubber. I'll be honest with you, once I get done here tonight, I'm just going to sit down and take it easy for a few hours. Yeah, the guys pushed me hard today. I had a pretty nice day. We're at Harry and the Natives, Hobe Sound, with a great crowd cheering us on, day 2. And just a fantastic day. It was hot out there, and there was a little bit of a sea breeze, too, so that kind of wore me down a little. But a good ride. 36 miles today, I understand, so very nice. Most of it down A1A, too, so a big sea breeze. Now, I also rode, we started off at Sunrise Ford in beautiful Fort Pierce, big sponsors of the bike ride every year, and we actually did a little bit of a detour today. We wanted to go down the coast, so we headed up toward the inlet, Fort Pierce Inlet, and then down A1A, through Jensen Beach, and then eventually backtrack down into Stewart, and then eventually into Hobe Sound, where we are tonight. Michael Williams rode with me, and we also had Stan the Man from Wheels of Wellington, and Jerry, who's ridden with me in the past. I don't see him here, and his son, too, also came with me. He's actually biked across the country, so they have a little bit of experience. And here we are at Harry's, and of course, we're auctioning off the bike. We're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. And we're also getting people ready for hurricane season, too. And I have Chris Church, who is the Deputy Director of Emergency Management in Martin County. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here because we want to get everyone ready for the season. Any tips, anything you can help them with?
3 things. Number 1, get a plan, because in the middle of the emergency is not when you want to be thinking about what you're going to do. Number 2, unless you really enjoy standing in line, get your supplies early. Number 3, sign up for Martin County's Code Red emergency notification system. It's at www.martin.fl.us/EM. It's free to all Martin County residents and businesses, and it's one of the primary ways, on top of working with the media like Channel 5, for us to get the word out to our residents and businesses in the event of a big emergency.
Okay, so this would cover hurricane warnings and storm surge warnings and that sort of thing?
Hurricane watch, hurricane warnings, storm surge, hazardous materials evacuations, major road closures, silver and amber alerts with our sheriff's office in partnership. It's really a great system. We've had it for about a year. We've had almost 25,000 residents sign up for the system on their own, and we're hoping to double that this year.
Oh, very cool. Okay, all the excellent information. Thank you very much, Chris. All right, let's hope for a quiet season, although it just takes one storm, even though it's forecast to be a fairly slow season. Let's talk about the weather, show you what's going on across our area, and absolutely gorgeous weather tonight. Temperatures cooling off into the mid and high 70s for your overnight lows, and we'll see those temperatures well after midnight, and it means more warm weather as we get into the next couple. Pretty much rain-free at this point. Showers are possible tonight, not expecting the heavier rains that we picked up last night. Boating conditions still kind of bumpy. We have that big sea breeze that's kicked in and a rip current issue through tomorrow. We also have pretty choppy seas, especially offshore. So keep that in mind, boaters. Better in the near shore waters than away from the coastline. Tonight's forecast, not too bad. If you're headed out, enjoy. We are looking at nice conditions right through the overnight with a slight shower chance tomorrow. Breezy and warm, climbing up into the high 80s and low 90s again. Looking really nice. And most of this week, not bad. We do keep around 87 to about 90 degrees for our highs. Sunshine, lots of it, and showers possible on the coastline pretty much any day, even right into the weekend. I want to bring in Stan from Wheels of Wellington. Oh, here you are, right here. It's been a long day. Nothing for you.
Windy day. No, windy day.
You're fantastic. You donate the bike every year.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
You really are. And we raise money. This is auctioned off on eBay this year. Just quickly in 15 or 20 seconds, tell us a little bit about the bike.
It's a Trek Verve 3, 8 speeds with a triple, so there's 24 total gears. You have a little suspension on the front, a little suspension in the saddle. This bike comes with some extras, gel pad, computer, and a little bag in the back with a spare tube. And this has been ridden by Steve Weigel, so it's a one-of-a-kind bike, so bid it up.
We'll take $300 off for that. And it's on WPTV.com. You can bid on it. It's good. You can bid on it all week. In fact, we're running it on eBay this year, which is a little different from what we do. And I believe we'll announce the winner on Friday with our last stop in Boca. Thank you so much, Stan. All right, back to you, and a great second day for the ride. We're going to be back at 5:30 and raise some more money for the Red Cross, too.
And love to see you at a Hope Sound landmark. Harry and the Natives is a must for anybody who is in the area to stop by. And I see Harry there off to your side there.
Oh,
Steve.
yes.
Exactly.
Harry is here and his kids, yes. We'll be talking to Harry later.
All
He's
right,
the man.
very good.
He's the man.
Thanks, Steve. Good job today.
All right.
Coming up tonight, charged with neglect. But tonight, there's some good news for the free-range parents.
That all new at 5:30, what the experts are saying about that bounce house that went airborne, and the two things in particular parents should watch for.
Closed captioning on WPTV is sponsored by Bethesda Health.
The time to save is now. During Toyota time at Ed Morse Delray Toyota. Get 50% off a new Camry, now under $7,000. Or lease for $89 a month. Visit DelrayToyota.com.
Looking for quality impact windows from a company you can trust? Call ArmorView Window and Door.
ArmorView windows and doors are custom made in Florida for Florida homes.
We offer gold standard installation. From permitting to final inspection, ArmorView takes care of it all.
Choose ArmorView Impact Windows and Doors for your best home improvement project ever.
Act now. Buy 2 windows, get 1 free. Get year-round protection from a company you can trust. Call ArmorView Window and Door.
Listen up. The average car payment is over $400 a month. Why pay that when now through Sunday you can drive new Hondas from $139 a month? Honda, I like it. The average car price over $33,000. Don't pay that when you can have a new Honda from $16,315. Number 1 selling Hondas, not half equipped. They're fully loaded from $139 a month or $16,315. It all ends Sunday at your South Florida Honda dealers.
Oh yeah, I like it. The Gunther Volkswagen Memorial Day sales event is going on right now. Get our best offers and save thousands on your favorite new Volkswagen. Drive home in a new Jetta from $119 a month. Or get as low as 0% APR for 60 months. Or 0 down is available on every new Volkswagen from Gunther's massive inventory. Don't miss the Gunther Volkswagen Memorial Day sales event going on now in Coconut Creek and Delray Beach.
For car buying done your way, you got to get to Gunther.
Washington can't fix Obamacare, but we can with a plan for Florida by Florida to reform Medicaid, adding coverage for 800,000 low-income Floridians, not with the handout, but with work and personal responsibility requirements. A Florida plan would mean billions in savings, 100,000 new jobs, and keeping our tax dollars in Florida, not Washington. Call now to support the Florida Senate plan. Not Obamacare, not a Washington solution, a Florida solution.
I could have gone to Greece for the philosophy, but the food just fits so much better with my philosophy. Put it on a pizza.
The Greek pizza is back. A large for $12. Add our new garlic knots for just $5 more.
Better ingredients, better pizza. PapaJohns.com.
The time to save is now. During Toyota time at Ed Morse Delray Toyota. New 2015 RAV4s. 50% off. Now under $9,000. Or lease for only $129 a month. Visit DelrayToyota.com.
Steve's Ride for the Red Cross is sponsored in part by All My Sons Moving and Storage.
Covering America, the free-range parents accused of child neglect for allowing their children to walk to the park alone have been cleared in one of their cases. Authorities dropped the charge related to a December case when the couple allowed their 10 and 6-year-olds to walk home from a park about a mile away. They are still under investigation, though, for neglect related to their children walking home in April from another park, this in Silver Springs, Maryland.
New details tonight into the death of Blues star B.B. King. Las Vegas police say they are not investigating his death as a homicide. The musician's 2 daughters claim King's business manager and personal assistant poisoned him. Police say unless an autopsy shows he died from something other than natural causes, they will not open an investigation. Those results are expected in about 8 weeks.
I'm Shannon Cake, live in the newsroom tonight. Coming up all new at 5:30, find out why city leaders in one community are threatening to remove trees and plants that they say are just too close to local waterways. Residents, though, they are fired up and fighting back. We'll show you how they're going out on a limb, to keep their natural beauty. They may appear small, but the service they provide for Florida's agriculture is huge. It's actually worth billions. The 2 simple steps you can take to keep our bees buzzing. And all eyes at one local school will be watching one of their own as he tries to spell his way to the top of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Those stories and more when I join John at 5:30.
Business Report on WPTV is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers.
How much are you spending on a complete